Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Video starting at my house. Last night I got 2 cars delivered, and honestly, I don't know if they were good purchases, but they both run and drive, and we're gonna take a look at them. I didn't really take a look at them yesterday just because I knew I was gonna film, so more or less this is going to be fairly fresh for me as it is for you guys. So let's get started. First one is a 2009 Mazda 3 with a 5-speed manual transmission. The reason why I bid on this car is because it was sold on a green light, so mechanically it runs great, but you know, physically, as you guys can see, it has imperfections, and I would say unfortunately quite a few imperfections. Both of these cars came out of Seattle, and unfortunately there was no condition report, and not all the pictures showed the whole story, if you will. Haven't seen this type of job in a long time. So I'm curious to what extent I will be kind of fixing these cars up. But this one is allegedly and supposedly really great mechanically. Let me grab the key, unlock, let's check the fluids. Slight odor in here, but nothing too crazy. We have oil, we have coolant. Clearly this car will need a detail, I'm sure so will the other one. So the buyer for this car, I am anticipating, will want just something manual, something that runs great with no issues, but doesn't mind a little bit of body damage. Believe it or not, there are buyers like that, and I've sold a handful of cars with minor imperfections such as this, but of course, you know, it will get detailed. I'll take it through emissions, make sure mechanically it's solid before it goes to the next owner. But I think that's going to be the plan with this one, just because it has, I mean, I'm not going to replace the hood, I'm not going to replace the bumper, I'm not going to replace the door. Like, it's just not worth it. I mean, it's a used car, 140,000 miles. It has a story, and that's what I'm thinking of doing right now. Clean it up, make sure it's good to go mechanically, and then off to the next owner it will go. These stickers came off rather easy and didn't really leave any residue. I'm gonna take this one off. This one I'll probably leave, what is that, Washington grown. That will probably get removed too. This one, probably also remove that one. Hi baby. Mazda stickers were actually fairly painless to remove. I mean, there's a little residue here, but I got this one completely taken off. This one I'll leave for now. I just noticed we also have this one. So now let's take a look at this thing. This is a 2007 Nissan Pathfinder. The only damage that I know of is this fender area right here. And again, I don't think I'll be replacing it. Maybe I'll get some touch-up paint and just touch up this section right here. But this one burns oil. Let me get this off. But aside from it, actually looks really good, and I did get it at a really cheap price. I think with auction fees, I paid like $3,200 for this car. Let me try that. Huh, premium infused joint. So we got a joint up in here. Squeeze below cap. There literally is a joint in there. Anywho, so this is a 3rd row. Miles are actually pretty decent on it. I see it will need a detail because that's pretty filthy all around. Up front, it actually doesn't look that bad. And I know these cars are kind of sought after and, you know, somewhat desirable just because they are very roomy and for the most part reliable. Let's see what we have underneath the hood. Looks like we have a newer battery. Looks like it's not super filthy here. Do we have oil. We do have oil, but man, this oil actually looks filthy, filthy dirty. But this one will most likely go to my mechanic. I will start it shortly and we will see the slight blue smoke. I have a towel here for some reason. But honestly, aside from that, this one actually looks pretty decent. Oh, I remember this one was pretty low on gas. So actually what I think I'm gonna do is close everything up and go get some gas for this thing before you know, I kind of mess around with it and then it dies. But from driving it yesterday from the delivery truck, I mean up the street, I did smell burning oil. And right now we don't really have much, but I'm sure once it warms up it will start. Well, we'll see the bluish smoke. Actually, I have a jerry can with maybe a gallon of fuel, so I will add that in here. Yes, we are on this side. That wasn't a lot of fuel, but it's something. And like, it's been running for maybe 2-3 minutes now. Still no blue smoke. We got some condensation. If you guys listen, either it's the exhaust with the condensation, but it's almost like popping a little bit. And I do smell something from the exhaust. And from this angle, I do see that it's a little bit bluish. Let's see if I'll be able to catch anything from this angle. Yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, that's a lot of blue smoke. I am going to move it back, see if there's anything dripping overnight. Not that it ran for a long time. But aside from, you know, water underneath the sprinklers and whatnot, that didn't dry up, I don't see any oil stains or anything of that sort. Yeah, and quick glance, I don't see anything wet or soaked in oil. So here's what I know off the bat. It's blowing blue smoke. That is most likely an internal issue, which I will not take care of. Mechanic will probably take a look at it, and then we will decide, is it worth fixing or not. But the fact that the oil is super dirty, I'm gonna look up oil filters. I have a whole bunch of them at home, just extras from various cars. See if I have an oil filter at home right now that will fit this engine. If I do, then I'm gonna run to the gas station, put some fuel in it. Meanwhile, the engine is gonna warm up, oil is gonna warm up, and then we're gonna do an oil change. That's gonna be the first thing we're gonna knock out on this one. Would you guys look at that? PG 4612EX. This fits the Nissan, so that is very awesome. So what I'm gonna do is actually go get some gas, and then we'll do an oil change on the Nissan Pathfinder. Now let's see how well this thing actually runs, you know, more or less up to speed and whatnot. But so far oil pressure is good, alternator is good, gas light is still on, but you know, I had like a gallon if that. So far, I mean, we're moving. Hopefully we make it to the gas station and back and get this oil change done. $20 got us a quarter tank of premium fuel. Let's head back home. Okay, I am back at the house, and I just wanted to see, is it blowing blue smoke? After 2 miles of driving round trip, and honestly, I don't really see any blue smoke. There is a very high possibility that, you know, it sat at the auction for weeks, maybe even months before it got sold, or it could have sat, you know, like someone traded it in, they didn't have the title, so they were waiting for all the legal paperwork to come through, although it's kind of not very likely on an older vehicle like this. But honestly, you never know. So far it's not actually smoking, but we'll see. again, I'll keep driving it and kind of go from there. I know I have a can of liquid moly stop smoke at the lot. I don't think I have any here. I'll have to check, but I think with this oil change, I will pour some in there so it lubricates more or less the internals a little bit better than, you know, regular oil. So it's just an additive. And see how it goes, but it shifts good. I didn't notice any weird rattles. I mean, it seems like a solid rig to me, aside from that, you know, blue smoke. So I'm going to do an oil change real quick right now. I will do a separate video for the oil change. And then we will resume with this video once I'm done with the oil change. Oil change is done. Oil was honestly very, very filthy. I put full synthetic 5W30 in here. I did maybe 4.5 quarts because I do want to add that liquid moly added. But it sounds healthy, and actually let me see if there's any blue smoke, you know, after the oil change. Guys, so far I don't see anything. So while I finish up dealing with the old oil, I'm gonna let it run, and then we'll actually check after a few minutes. Actually, no, I'm gonna kill it and check the oil level right now. Sorry, I misspoke. Not right now. Now I'm gonna kill the engine, let it sit for 5-10 minutes, and then check the oil level. Guys, I feel like it's almost my lucky day. Here we go, liquid moly oil smoke stop. So we're gonna add this. And hopefully, if there are any slightly worn parts that need lubricating, this will help. So with the amount of oil I poured in it, it is a little bit lower than the middle, so I'll probably add another 0.2, 0.3 quarts just so that it's a little bit higher than the middle, just in case, you know, once the oil goes through the motor and whatnot, maybe the oil level will drop a little bit. And it does call for 5 quarts. I did a little bit lower, but I did pour in that oil stop smoke. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil, start the car, and let it run. As you guys can hopefully hear, the motor actually purrs. So I don't think there's any, I guess, major internal issues. And I don't see any smoke with my eyes or through the camera. Let's take another look. And now I think we are fantastic. The other thing I will do is actually pour in some treatment into the gas tank. I'll have to check what I have at the lot. I think it's seafoam fuel treatment, just so that it kind of cleans up the injectors. Again, don't know how long this car has been sitting at the auction or at the selling dealership. I have no details. But all I know is it was smoking. You guys saw that there was blue smoke. There's none of that right now. So I'm assuming it was probably sitting for a while. Maybe some oil kind of got caked onto some internal parts while it burns up or burns off, cleans up. It had a little bit of blue smoke. Let's actually try the same thing if I give it gas. Yeah, absolutely no smoke that I can see. If that is the case, look, this thing books for $7,600. I paid $3,200 for it, like $3,185, plus $150 to ship this thing here. Say detail, oil change, I'm like $3,700 bucks into it. I'll probably try to touch up this paint. I guess we'll see. And this car is ready to go, so I could potentially make around $2,500 to $3,000 on this Nissan Pathfinder. If I do, that'd be fantastic. But I'm gonna let it run, continue running, and I think we could go take the Mazda out for a quick spin, make sure it shifts good, there's no grinding from the transmission, and kind of go from there. Actually, before I move on to the Mazda, I'm gonna try to take care of that TPMS light. I will check the tire pressure on every single one and add air if I need to, and hopefully that light will go away. One more time before I kill the car. Give it some gas. Absolutely no blue smoke. I genuinely think I kind of got lucky or struck out or something, but so far I'm very happy. I mean, it's not guaranteed that it won't return, but so far there's absolutely none of it. About the tires had between 32 33 psi. They should be at 36. I did closer to 37 for each one. The light is still on, but you know, it will kind of do its own thing once I drive it a little bit. So I think I'm gonna lock up this car. I think it's good to go to the lot, good to go to my detailer. We're moving forward.
2 hours later.
it has actually been a few hours. And I am just now heading out to the lot. I had other things to do. And we're gonna see if this thing is gonna make it to the lot safely. And hopefully no grinding from the gears, no issues. Hopefully AC blows cold and whatnot. Hopefully this was a good purchase. Car made it to the lot. Guys, this thing actually runs really well mechanically. Shifts great. Makes actually pretty decent power. Very comfortable to drive. I didn't notice any rattles, any funny noises, especially for like a hatchback or wagon. There's not much insulation, so sometimes you'll get extra noise in the back. Nothing. I mean, aside from the body damage and dings and whatnot, I think this was a pretty good purchase. So I think, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Don't really know what I'm gonna do with the car yet, but you guys saw what I purchased, and I guess if I decide to do a part 2, there will be a part 2. Maybe finish this one up, or maybe I'll add this one to the PT Cruiser and Mazda Miata video, which I'm still working on. But yeah, guys, for this one, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. Let me know what you guys think of the purchases. Drop a comment in the comment section below. As always, thank you for your time, and I will see you in another video.